What's going on, YouTube? Back with another video. Today we got number 2, the second best 2K of all time. If you haven't checked the series, you can check out some of them. Just click the profile video at the top, probably link one of them. But yeah, so we're on the second best. You know, we started off number 5 was 2K. I think I said 20. Number 4 was 15. Number 3 was 19. I can't remember the videos I made. And number 3 was 19. So now we're going on to number 2, and we'll get right into that. How we do it, we break down what was good, what was bad about it, pretty much all that stuff. But yeah, we'll get into that. Just want to finish my intro real quick. Always like to spread the word from Deuteronomy. You know, we're going way back. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 5. Think about it. Just as a parent disciplines a child, the Lord your God disciplines you for your own good. That's Deuteronomy 8, chapter 5. So just a quick thought. You know, people sometimes think, you know, especially people who aren't, you know, full-blown believers, haven't put their full faith in Jesus Christ. Some people think that God is just waiting for you to sin, and just so he could clip you off, or he takes pleasure in people who sin just so he can show that just punishment. But at the end of the day, that's not what it is. It's kind of like how a parent has to discipline their child so they can grow. So it's the same thing. It's on just a completely higher level of scales. But you know, a lot of the things you can relate to how a parent should treat their child. You know, children, a young child, a 2-year-old isn't gonna know don't touch a hot stove or something, but it's a parent's job to discipline that child to know that don't touch that hot stove. You can't just tell them, you can't just say don't touch the hot stove, because that child's not gonna listen. They're gonna try it. So you have to have some just punishment, some just action if and when they do touch that hot stove. So it's kind of the same thing. We don't know, that child doesn't know that hot stove is gonna burn them. So everything that God says that you should and shouldn't do, or you shouldn't do, I should say, isn't because he doesn't want you doing some things. He doesn't want you to have fun. It's because he knows that it's not beneficial for you. And it's like kind of eating food. Like there's natural foods here, like those are going to be the most beneficial for you, but there's artificial foods, processed foods, all this other stuff that, yeah, you can still eat it, but it's just not as beneficial. It's not as good for you. You can just eat natural food, stuff like that, but just on a higher scale. So, you know, that is just something I just, you know what I'm saying, always want to spread. So we can go ahead and get into the video now. Alright, so if you're seeing the gameplay here, it's dumb blurry, but that's okay because it's old and it's not my gameplay either. This is Soul Illuminati's gameplay. You can obviously tell from the top right corner. But yeah, this is 2K16, and we got that as the number 2K of all time, park related. You know, I think that 2K16 was very simplistic, but it was also extremely fun, and it had a lot of goods to it, and it left a lot of room to be expanded on, which is what they're trying to do now. But now they're getting away from the core of basketball, in my opinion. So 2K16, what I mean with the simplicity, if you're just looking at the movements, you can see how it's flowing. It was fun. You know, let's start off with the builder, for example. It was inside, outside, balance. That's the type of builds you made. You can make any position, point guard through center, and then you can make them inside, outside, or balance. So you could be a better inside scorer. It doesn't mean you were dirt at freaking outside, but you still had the choice to upgrade or downgrade. You can make it outside, which means you obviously be better shooting and taking your middies and all of that stuff, or you can make balance, which means you had pretty much the say so and how you wanted to do it, pretty much. But it was kind of like a bar graph. If you can throw it up on the screen, it's kind of like a bar, and you pretty much chose, and the categories were much more simple. It wasn't like mid-range, three-pointer. It wasn't offensive and defensive rebound. Like, it was just rebounding. Like, if you're a good rebounder, this is still, I agree with to this day, 10 years later, if you can rebound, you can rebound. It shouldn't be 2 separate categories. That's just my personal pet peeve about the rebounding. But rebounding was one category. It was like defense, and then it was athleticism. Everything was tied into one. You just upgraded them from there. It wasn't like everything was so spread out. Like, some things just don't have to be a stat, in my opinion. Some things should be stuff that you either work on yourself. Say, for example, free throw. Like, if you practice like free throw, for example, you should be able to do it. And like something like that. Like, you hit the practice facility, or the more free throws you shoot, like whatever. Like, it could be anything. But I don't think, like, yeah, it doesn't cost that much. Like, I get it, but I don't think free throw should be an attribute. So that's something like, if you can time your free throw, you can time your free throw. Just make the free throw difficulty harder, like something. Make it freaking tapping some different buttons. Make it different rather than just holding square. I don't know, but I don't think free throw should be a certain thing, and I don't think offensive and defensive rebound should be a thing either. Like, yeah, I get like some people are better offensive rebounders than defensive rebounders, or however you want to put it, but in a video game aspect, it should be just one thing. There's no reason why I jump out the gym to grab a defensive rebound, but I can't do that on offense. sense just because we're on the other side of the ball and vice versa. That just doesn't make any sense. So I really like how simplistic the builder was, and it left a lot of room to be expanded on. Like when they expanded after 16, they went to 17, the archetypes, and those 17 archetypes were simplistic too. So it was the simplicity of them that left a lot to be expanded on, but I don't think they're expanding on them the right way anymore, I guess you could say. So what else was really simple? It was also just your player. Like the way, once you upgraded them, first of all, I never mentioned in this whole series either the VC prices. Like it costs $20 to max out your build in this game. Like it was actually really easy. Like just drop a 20 piece and you're good. Now it's another subject, not really, but that's also another reason why this game was like a lot better too, because you can make more builds because it didn't cost your whole freaking paycheck. But yeah, what was I about to say? Yeah, so the badges too. The badges, you can get pretty much any badge in the game, and all you got to do is play My Career, go get the badge, and then you were good. I can't remember how it worked, so I don't want to speak on it, but I'm pretty sure you can get every badge and you can upgrade it based off of how much you used it, basically. So if I was going for corner specialist, then I would shoot a bunch of corner shots, and then I would continuously get it up more and more throughout my career. So it was more so I was working on that to get the badge, and they didn't go away type thing. But the badges didn't make or break your build either, and that's what I feel like was important too. Like I feel like everything was in proper synergy to everything made sense. Like your attributes matter, but your badges also gave you a boost. Like badges were like your boost, which I feel like was better rather than badges being the end all be all. Like you need certain badges this year, which I think makes absolutely, I mean, I guess it makes sense, but it should be more like the first top priority with how good your player is should be how good you are as the player on the controller. Then it should be your attributes. If I have a 99-3 shot, I should be able to hit the 99, like I should be able to shoot like I have a 99-3. It should be that simple. And then it should be badges. It should be a boost. Oh, you're taking a lot of threes, you're taking a lot of deep threes, and you're making them, so you're good with this. So now let's give you this badge and let's give you a small boost. Shouldn't be no crazy boost, in my personal opinion. That's why I feel like this game was better. Even the rep system, like I'm just looking at this video now, like the rep, like it just looks cleaner. And then these intros too, bro. First of all, it look like freaking LaMelo Ball before LaMelo. But what is that? Oh, right. He looked like LaMelo before LaMelo. But even like these intros were just like just cleaner, bro. Like now we're just in the freaking box, just clapping and jumping up and down, bro. I get you can change it, but I'm sorry, that is just park cars are cheesy. I'm sorry, I was just looking at this video, but I don't know, the vibe just felt like you're just looking at this video right now, you just see basketball. That's all you see. You don't see all this extra cheese nonsense going on in the game. You don't see robots being built. It's just a nice vibe in the background, you know, a nice little sunset beach. It looks like a beach aspect. Yeah, they got an aquarium in the background, but it's not a freaking it's not something outrageous. Like that's just a nice little view. It's not no freaking giant robot or a freaking pirate ship. Like I don't think that stuff makes sense in a basketball related aspect. More does an aquarium, but that's just more so an aesthetic. Like I feel like robots aren't an aesthetic. That's just me personally. But yeah, getting out of the badges and the builder stuff, I feel like the gameplay was more, I don't want to say the simplicity was good. I would say in the aspect of like animations, first of all, let me go back to this. They had a bunch of animations, like a ton. Like you had like 100 different jump shots, and then the players' jump shots. Like they had numbered jump shots, like jump shot 123, high school 3. Like they had different jump shots that you could all choose from, and those things weren't the freaking end all be all. Like you can get crafty with any jumper. Like yeah, LaMarcus Aldridge was the best because of how high you like raised up basically, but it wasn't the end all be all. But I feel like they should go back to that, making that many different animations, like the SIGs, like same thing, crossover went up to like freaking 40. Like they had like 40 different crosses, and then they had like Jamal Crawford and all these other players. Like we have freaking 20 options now, and 4 of them are good at most. And then yeah, the jump shot, like a lot of that stuff, it wasn't a make or break. Like you can get crafty with a lot of different things because there was a lot of different options. Also, what else? What was I about to say before I ranted onto that? I do this a lot. Yeah, the gameplay being simplistic. Like I don't agree with how simple it was with how we progressed, but back then it was just mad simple. Like you held R2, you flicked the right stick to the right, and you would get put into that little size up. Like for example, if you had Jamal Crawford, you would do the double behind the back Jamal Crawford, and then you can get crafty out of that. I feel like they expanded on that better with how dribbling is, being more creative where you could actually string together your moves without it being that simple. But I feel like it just flowed better. Like the movement speed, gameplay, everything was just better. I feel like, in my personal humble opinion. Clothes, aesthetic, I really can't say anything was bad about the game. Like I feel like it was more so fun. Like everything wasn't forced to a point where it had to be balanced, this and that and third. Like people were raising up, getting contact dunks. You got a lot of ankle breakers. Like it was just fun. It wasn't overly freaking competitive, but you can tell who was good and was bad. Like you can go get a freaking bucket. Like in my opinion, a lot of things are getting they're trying too hard to balance, and I'm not saying in that regard like there should be no balance, but I'm saying like back then you could literally just enjoy the game. And then if you wanted to play competitive, you can also play competitive. But now you feel like you're forced to play competitive and you can't really enjoy the game like that in certain aspects. That's what I'm trying to get across, if that makes any sense. But honestly, anything bad about the game, is hard for me to really say anything's bad, because I feel like for its time and with how it was kind of like I don't want to sound cheesy, but how it was a pioneer for other games, like how it started everything, there was nothing wrong with the game when you look back on it now. Like, yeah, not everything was 100% like balance if you were trying to play competitive and do all this other stuff, but would I rather play 2K16 than 2K25? 10 times out of 10. Same with 24, same with every other 2K but one, and we're gonna talk about that one next week. So I'm gonna leave it there. If you guys got anything else to add or want to drop your opinion, drop it down in the comments. I'll reply when I reply. I'm not the best at it, but I'll get that out too. And then yeah, just stay tuned for number 1, and we're about to get into the cycle at 26, so be on the lookout for those videos too. So if y'all are still watching, I appreciate it, and I'll catch you on the next one.